Hey, welcome back, everybody. It's time again for another OC Spotlight. The one show, maybe the only show, that shows you the most incredible people doing the most amazing things right here in your own backyard. And today, well, we're going to talk about something that everybody knows about, I think. It's certainly a big, booming thing here in Orange County. We're talking about soccer, yeah, absolutely, or what they call football in other countries here. And to do so, we have a whole slew of people from the Capo Football Club here to talk about what they're describing as their pyramid of everything from youth to pro soccer leagues that they participate in. So let's bring them in and welcome our guests here from the Capo Football Club. Hey, guys, how are you?
No, we're doing good.
Kim can't hear anything.
She can't hear anything? Let's get her a
So
volume
we're not
up.
doing too good right now.
All right, we're not doing. How about that? Can you hear you now?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
There we go,
Okay,
there we go.
good. All right, so this is interesting to me because, as we said off air, I'm a man of a certain age. I'm an aging baby boomer. When I was a kid, there was no soccer anywhere, certainly not in the Midwest. And now I grow up and I have my own daughter. She's now 30, but 10, 15 years ago, she says, "Daddy, I want to play soccer." And I go, and everybody's playing soccer. Everybody's playing soccer. Men, women, kids, boys, girls, everybody. So let's meet first the director of all this, Pete Carey. How did soccer suddenly explode over the last 10, 15, 20 years? I don't know.
I think soccer's always been here, but
Worldwide, it certainly has.
Yeah,
The United
definitely.
States, we're slow to discover this thing.
yeah, I think it's growing a lot.
Let's get you to lean in a little bit closer to the mic
my
there.
fault. So I think it's growing a lot, especially in states like California where you could play year-round sports.
Yeah, right. And you said that Orange County is a hotbed for this.
Yeah, I would argue that we're probably a hotbed for all sports because we can play year-round, but definitely soccer. I think it's the largest youth sport played.
I certainly think so, and I believe I read the same. Certainly, I agree with what you're saying. There's been quite a number of kids that have gone to the pro leagues here for baseball in Orange County, and the same for how many football quarterbacks have we generated? 3, 4, 5. The last quarterback from Mater Dei won the Heisman Trophy winner and all that stuff. So, yeah, we've been doing. Are we doing the same thing in soccer? Are we generating pro soccer players? What do you say to me, Carly Osario? You're a team. What are you, a coach or something?
A coach and soon-to-be player.
Okay. So what do you think, soon-to-be player? Are we creating tons of pro soccer players here?
Yeah. The youngest, I think she just signed. She was like 14.
14?
14 or 15.
And what does pro soccer look like for girls? This is the MLS?
Well, I'm not there yet. So
Okay, you don't know.
I don't know.
But what is it? What's it made of?
What is OC Ways? What league are they in?
It's not the MLS. I think it's like the
UPSL?
women's WPLS, Women's
Yeah.
Premier Soccer League or something like that.
Okay.
But for
know this.
girls, they always go overseas. It's easier for girls to go pro overseas and then come back to states.
I see. Okay.
But-
All right. And then we have Kimberly Ruiz here. What's your position with all this? What do you do?
Don't get me started.
Don't get me started. Anything and everything.
Exactly.
She set up the Instagram over here, so it's streaming live. She can do anything. Right. What do you do? What's your position at the club? You're a player, you're a coach, you're an admin? What do you do?
I just kind of got weaseled into this, but I would
Weaseled.
say
All right,
I
that's
would
it.
say my position here in the club is more administrative. So I'm the operations manager for the men's side.
You can just look over at each other and turn around and look back at me here.
I want to look at you too.
Well, then you'll have your back to the camera here. You just wave to everybody over there at the camera. So you never say hi there. Okay. All right. So you all are involved in this thing. And we'll go back to Pete here. What makes Capo Football Club so different? Is it just a youth sports program for kids? Is it a club? My daughter not only played at Tesoro High School, but then she had to join some private club, but she played in the rest of the season that cost us a bunch of money. And that seemed to be, you had to do that if you wanted to be serious about this. Is that what you guys are? Just a private club that
We're
club sport?
We are a club, but we're a little different. I think that's what makes us unique is we're more of a community-based club, and we've kind of created a platform how they do it around the world other than the United States. Most of the soccer platforms here are business driven, money driven.
Yeah.
And
There was money to be
Yeah,
made. I had no idea.
It's
When she wanted to play soccer, I said, great. She joined the team, started to be pretty good. And then all of a sudden the coach says, well, now the season's over. She's got to join a club. and it's thousands of dollars a year.
Yeah, it's
and
very expensive, but we're more of a year-round program that is community-based. So we started off as a community, like a small community club, and it's just organically grown into, we start with 4 or 5-year-olds in rec.
Wow.
We have a rec program, and then when they get to, I think 7, they go.
2017.
Yeah,
so
they'll
they're
go.
so there's different levels they
Yeah,
can
and
just
then it
keep.
goes club, and then we've got USL for our college guys, and now we've got NISA for our pros. We've created a complete pipeline or a pathway to pro.
And I don't know if anybody's done that, because when she was done with soccer, she was done with it.
It's not common here. This is how they do it usually in like South America and a lot in Europe. This is more of their system, so I think that's what makes us more unique. We've created that kind of a system.
So in my daughter's case, so she graduates high school. She didn't go on to college, and she didn't, of course, get a scholarship or anything. She wasn't that good. And now, so she got a job, and then she got married and all that stuff, and now her soccer stuff is behind her here. But you're saying you've created a system where if you want to keep playing into college, beyond college, and maybe even a pro level, you've still got programs that they can participate in, because you're not just an amateur, you're not just a youth sports program or even a high school club. You are actually in some of these different levels. Sort of explain to me the different structure of pro soccer. There's different leagues, sort of like, I don't want to call them minor leagues, but are they sort of like minor leagues?
Yeah, it's
And
kind of like that. So you'll have like the MLS, which is the
The big
biggest
league.
league that everybody knows about. But then
Right.
there's the USL, which I would think is second division, would be right under the MLS, and then
Right.
you have NISA would be third division, and I think those are the three.
And do you get paid if you participate
Yeah,
in those things?
they get paid. They're pro players. It's not like football and basketball and baseball where they're getting. That's why the attraction for
They get
a lot of,
nothing in some of those minor leagues.
They want to
yeah.
go to Europe. That's where the money is. Unless you're European like David Beckham and Messi, you come over here and then you get millions because
Right.
they bring the fans.
No, I know, because we've had people come in and say, "Oh, my kid got into minor leagues." I said, "Hooray!" He said, "Well, don't get too excited. They barely scrape by surviving unless you make it into the pro, unless you get bumped up to whatever they call that, the big league."
Yeah, I think it's probably very similar. It's not especially in Southern California, you're probably doing a few things to make ends meet.
Right.
You're not going to do it just off the pro side.
But that is the step towards becoming a true pro, a full-blown pro, working for a team that really going to pay you.
And that's what I think we've had guys that platform from our program off to Europe and to bigger teams, and that's kind of, I guess, the success or the reward that we get to witness.
Amazing. All right, hang on. Something just freaked out on the stream here. Why is this doing this here? I'm going to add this on. So,
Biggest goal.
all right. What I don't understand then is where this all goes for you guys. Is this just is this a community-based thing, for a helpful thing? Are you a nonprofit? Are you a for-profit? Or
We're a nonprofit. Our youth club's a nonprofit. Honestly, this is it's all new territory for us, I would say. We've been a youth club for almost 20 years, and we've always kind of been in that route. But a lot of our graduating players have kind of formed this organically, and we're learning as we're going. And I don't know where it goes from us. I think we're excited to see players platform, and we're excited to see our players from our community on a big stage and get them opportunity to play at a high level.
yeah, right. So, Eddie, names you want to drop? Anybody that we do some shout-outs for? Joey Smith, Susie, somebody here, or Sally, anybody, any players we want to call? Because really, Orange County has generated famous divers for Olympics, famous football players, famous baseball players. One of our shows, I'll do a shout-out to Charlie Hedges, who does a show here called Next Chapter. His son is the starting catcher for the Cleveland Guardians or whatever here, and played for Jay Serra, and then went on directly to minor league and then got bumped up to the pros and was the starting catcher for the Padres, and now he's with the Guardians. Yeah, right here from Orange County.
Yeah,
So-
Jay Sarah produced a few big athletes.
And that's where you guys play out of, right?
That's the stadium we play in, yes.
Yeah. Yeah, Jay Serra's cranked out a bunch of and Mater Day, certainly,
Yeah.
and all these other Catholic high schools here. All right, so what's your journey, Carly? Are you going to make pro, or are we going to see you on
That's the plan.
a Wheaties
That's the
box here soon, or whatever?
I'm waiting for my contract next week. Me and Kim. I'm trying to get Kim.
I've gone over this with Carly. It's
You
not
tried to
gonna
explain it to
happen. She can't afford me.
I skipped college. I'm going straight to pro.
Okay. And what is the story of Mia Hamm? Wasn't that the girl that?
Yeah, she's like a icon,
She's
soccer
the
legend for.
soccer legend. Even I know her name, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And what was her story? Where did she come from, or what? How did she?
Oh, you were gonna put me on the spot, man.
I don't even know her story.
She
You
was
don't know her
just-
story? I thought you'd be have it memorized.
She
You'd be-
did amazing things on soccer. She was like one of the best players ever on the women's side, but she
Yeah.
did stuff beyond that and helped a bunch of organizations, nonprofits. I think a lot of them were like cancer related.
Did she go through the? I thought she went
Yeah,
through
she
the
did.
Olympics though.
She did.
Yeah, she was like she was like our girl that was banging
Yeah.
out, getting us
Yeah.
all these
Her and Abby Wambach, right? Abby.
different generation. But
So how do
I'm
you?
gonna stick with me.
How do you then, Carly? Go? Why aren't you in the Olympics? Why don't you? Can you try out for the Olympic teams? Is that a stepping stone, or do you just have to go through the clubs and go through Europe and?
I'm still trying to get through college. Still
Ah.
trying to get through college.
And where are you going to college?
I'm at Saddleback right now.
Okay, all right, good school. Shout out
It
to
is.
Saddleback.
It is. We won our 3C AA tournament state championship.
Hooray!
First time
I have
ever.
no idea what that means, but hooray!
We're state champs for soccer. That's
You're the
okay.
state
Simple.
champs for soccer? Mm-hmm. Oh wow. Okay, that's simple. All right.
Yeah.
And Kimberly, what's your story here? You're a player or just a passionate person, or what are you?
I would say I'm a passionate person. No, you know what? My brother actually used to play for Peter's twin brother, Steve. A little later.
Is that his evil twin brother or his good twin
I
brother?
actually prefer Steve better than Peter.
So Peter's the evil twin brother.
I
should
would
be.
say that,
Okay.
yeah. He could argue with me on that, but
I'm not gonna
yeah.
do that.
I guess my story is a little bit all over the place, but my brother played for Steve, helped him go to community college, play there. My brother doesn't play anymore, but
And why? It was just the fun time of his life, and now he has a family or works or moved or something here.
I think he quit playing soccer because he just preferred to sleep instead.
Very motivated young man. That's all right. Good. Like to see that in
yeah.
our youth today here.
He'll still play here and there. Nothing serious. It's more just like for the love of the game. But for myself, I ended up connecting with Peter now that I'm a little older now. I was working at his boxing gym. I got tied into being a camera girl for Kappa FC.
Oh, you
Got-
really anything they need, you're the go-to person. here.
Yeah, you need me to fight somebody. You need me to do this. I'm
on
gonna
the
do
field,
it.
the first one.
Hey, that girl called our coach a name over there. Go take her out.
No.
Take her out.
But I would say that's probably my story. I've kind of just gotten more involved and just kind of like try to step up as much as possible. Like my
So can I ask you really, maybe you don't want to answer this question, but do you all get paid to do this? Is this a full-time gig or a part-time gig or a fun thing or what do you all do? I don't know the.
Kim's like, not enough. I don't get paid
Not
enough.
enough,
I don't
yeah.
get paid enough.
They definitely don't get paid enough. They volunteer a lot of hours and they get paid very, very little.
We're not getting paid for this.
You aren't? I'm getting paid for this.
I think we all agree that, regardless of the pay, yeah, sometimes it's a little rough. It gets in the way of our personal lives, but it's very rewarding to us at the end of the day. So I think that makes it very
I'll tell you
worth
why I
it to
asked,
us.
because we here's another group that came in and did one of these OC spotlights. There is a new women's professional football, full contact pro football league for women. And there aren't a lot of teams around the country, and there's one here in Southern California, and they literally have to pay to be on the team. I mean, they don't have to, they pay to keep the club going, and so they'll have full-time gigs, and then they go out and play on the weekend, try and play real, professional level football. Not easy. And I know that a lot of sports, a million years ago when I was a kid, hockey or other things, there wasn't a lot of money in these sports. And so they had to, in the off-season, work because they were just passionate about being a hockey player or something here. But now, it's unheard of. You think pros all make gazillions of dollars here.
I'd say there's an element to that with our club because most of the guys that are playing with us, this isn't for money. They're trying to get onto a bigger platform.
Right.
And they hope, their dreams would be signing for, an MLS team or a team out in Europe or a team in Mexico, a big team where they
Right.
could, make a living and, be rich and famous doing something they love, I guess.
So that's the question that I always ask people when soccer comes up. Why it is so huge at the youth sport level. I mean, I don't know if it's like this every other part of the country, but in Orange County, everybody plays soccer, guys and girls. My little 10-year-old grandson wants to play soccer. And yet that hasn't seemed to translate into, they thought it would, these people would grow up and then they'd all want to pay not just to play, but they would pay to go watch pro soccer. They're passionate about soccer. They love soccer. They grew up playing soccer. And that's happened a little bit, but it hasn't taken off. Like, it's not the NFL. It's not the NBA. It's not at that level yet. What, is that still coming? Is that still growing? Or is that...
Well, I think it's growing now that you see players like Messi and, these famous European players coming over here, like when David Beckham came. And
Yeah, sure.
That's obviously going to grow the sport, but it's not on the level of football and basketball or baseball. I mean, they get network shows, and
Because
how many thousand people go to their games. It's
It's nuts. And I don't understand, because I didn't grow up in a soccer culture, even though I watched my daughter play and tried to understand more of it. I'm an American. I want to watch basketball and see 100 points. I don't want to go to a game and say, oh, that was a wonderful game. It was 0-0. That was an incredible game. How could it be 0-0? Nothing happened. So I'm too American that way. And yet the world, I had a friend of mine that went to the World Cup. We were talking about this. A couple of people in the station actually paid and went to wherever it was in Dubai or Saudi Arabia or someplace, I forgot where. And they would come back telling me all this exciting matches, 0-1, Wow, it's like, so what is it? Explain to us non-soccer knowers why that's an exciting game. Who wants to take that one on here? Tell me why a 0-1 is an exciting game.
I would probably say just like, it's not like basketball. There's not 100 points. There's so much going on the field as far as, fouls, your favorite player,
They're battling.
How the coach is making the subs.
Yeah.
There's a lot of emotion, a lot of judgment within the game. And to get one goal, that's, it's rare if you get a goal or you get two. Maybe you see 5 and you kind of just laugh at the other team that they're losing so bad.
So Pete said off the air, I don't know why, I gave him a chance to say it on air here, but he gave me the best explanation I've ever heard. Because goals are so hard to come by and so rare, that's why people get so excited. One goal is a big deal. You waited the whole game to see 1 goal, 2 goals, maybe 3 goals. So it's so difficult to achieve, and there's so much that goes into that. What do you think? Carly's giving me the evil eye. Like
That's it, though.
My heart's pounding right
It's
now.
how hard I would say players work to get the goal, and when it comes, that's why that's the emotional relief, and that's why you see the kind of celebrations you see in games, and and if you know the game, watching how close it is or how close they came to getting a goal, and then when it finally comes, it's very intense.
Very
and I think
emotional.
that's why it's
So talk to me about the life of playing soccer. I underestimated how difficult it was to play soccer because you run down a big field. Is it bigger than a football field? It seems like it's bigger than a football
Same
field.
time.
American football
It's
field.
wider. It's wider.
And so you're running constantly. I emphasize, I can't say that too many times. Constantly, and you're kicking and jumping and doing all this stuff. I don't know how people do it. Somehow I picture, NFL athletes, they got to bulk up, or basketball players, they got to be real agile and all this stuff. Baseball players got to have giant arms and stuff here maybe, but I don't see the physical bulking up, but there's got to be a stamina to this sport that's unmatched by any other. What do you think?
I mean, just from playing, people always ask me, oh, I'm going to go run a mile, or tell me, I'm like, no, I cannot run a mile. But they're like, you play 90 minutes, continuously running. But I think it's just the mindset of your, running after something. If you're just going to go on a run, there's nothing you're running for. But, soccer, you're running or chasing the ball to
That's
go
a good
score
thing.
a goal.
Yeah, that's an insight
I'm
I
not
never
even
thought of.
thinking about, I'm running.
Go get
right
that
now.
ball.
Yeah.
Go get that team. All right. And is there, I know there's a lot of strategy that goes into it. I don't understand what's going on half the time. Well, I don't know why, for example, they were always told the ball in the middle, they'd say kick it back to kick it forward. Was that just our stupid team, or is that what you do? If the ball's in the middle of the field, you
that
sort
was
of...
probably your stupid team. No,
What do you mean by that? Wait,
Well, so the ball would go into the middle of the field, the other
when
team
you
would
start
kick it.
the game?
Yeah, so let's say the game starts and the other, you drive the ball down and the other goalie kicks it back. And so they get it in the middle of the field. Our girls would get it in the middle of the field, right? And I thought they'd start advancing it. But many times they had to kick it backwards.
Well, you can't always go forward. You always have to reset.
you want to keep the ball.
You wanna keep
they're
it.
trying to keep possession of the ball.
And then would go down the sides, seem more than the middle or something. I don't know. I'm trying to remember the strategy. We didn't win a lot of games, so maybe it wasn't a good strategy. Well, I didn't understand the strategy here, and I'm not even sure I understand the rules.
I feel like a big thing coaches always say is don't force it. So if there's nothing for you to go forward, don't force it forward, just go back.
Maybe. Because
see
I
other
thought they'd
options.
immediately bang it down to the other side and then
Well, that's
they'd
just
bang it
kickball.
back.
That's just kickball.
I kick it down, you kick it down, we kick it back and forth at each other here. Because we want to see that big dramatic kick that goes all the way down the field here. but then there's nobody there to kick it in. So, yeah. All right. Any tips on if somebody wants to get into soccer? What would you tell them? We'll go to Kimberly again. Kimberly, have you been a player or are you just a fan?
I was a very great player back in the day.
I've
Varsity
heard that.
captain. No, I'm just kidding. I grew up playing soccer with my brother and my dad. But I guess any tips for anybody who wants to keep growing as a player? I'd just say just work hard. We have our own little saying here. I'm going to promote it. Hard work, belief. You got to put that hard work in. Put in the hours when no one's looking.
Yeah, that's the key. When no one's looking, if you're out there, Kobe Bryant always famously said, when nobody was at the gym, he was there shooting free throws 2 hours before the game. Everybody else would just show up to play. He was practicing like insane. And I think that's the difference. Is that what you do, Carly? You're an insane practicer here?
Well, I'm a center back, so there's not much running for me.
Oh,
so
well,
I don't
you got
have
the
to work
cushy-
as I don't
you
have
got
to
the
work
cushy
as
job.
hard.
You got the easy job.
Yeah.
If
I
you guys
do.
are looking to
I hope
recruit
there's
Carly,
no,
that was that's your
aspiring young
answer.
soccer players listening.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
inspiring. Go,
Just choose to be a center back.
be the
Choose to be a center back.
Be the laziest player on the team here. You don't have to work that hard. Show up. Just get the glory. Get the big bucks. All right. Well, apparently it's a lot easier than I thought. What do you say, Pete Carey? Is it that easy to coach these girls?
She bumped her head. She bumped her head at last game.
So what would you tell girls or guys that want to? Is this would be a great place to learn and start if you're really serious about soccer?
Yeah, I would say you're not gonna have a hard time finding any team, any direction in Southern California to play soccer, but it's like any sport, repetition. If kids love what they're doing or having fun with what they're doing, then getting repetition is going to be easy, right?
Right.
Repetition, keep doing it, keep chasing it. The more you do something, the better you get at it.
And how do you get them past the point where they don't suck? That was too many of my problem.
They gotta like what they're doing. They
Yeah,
gotta
I
enjoy
mean,
what
I
they're
sucked
doing.
at a lot of these things, and so
Yeah.
I didn't stick with them too hard, and maybe I would have gotten better if I'd done it.
We've seen players that aren't the most athletic, and they're great players just because they work so hard to get
Yeah.
after it. So I think that's key. Is you gotta love what you're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And you obviously love what you're doing. What's your backstory? How did you get into this whole world? Have you been playing soccer your whole life, Pete? And
I grew up playing soccer, and then I didn't. After high school, I quit high school or quit playing in high school. I jumped into wrestling and then did a
Okay.
year of basketball. But after high school,
those wussy sports.
I went into the. I went into the. I joined the Marine Corps. So my career ended pretty quick. But then after that, I started coaching my nephew. There's a long story behind it, but I started coaching my nephew, and
You got hooked.
I felt like it was my calling, and I had no idea all this was going to happen. It just kind of organically formulated into this.
And
mess.
how long has this been for you?
We're about 20 years, and and I've got
Wow.
and I've been doing. I did 9 years of college. I've been in high school almost 20 years. I'm still doing high school now. I run the club, and we have I think 33 teams this year, and now
Wow.
we've got men's and
Good for
women's.
you.
And next year we'll be.
And so it's youth level that can come in and just advance, and then it goes into high school kind of club sports, and then some of these kids come back to you later when they're in college or after college, and now they want to get serious about it, play one of these, various levels, working their way into the pro leagues here, and some of them have made it and gone up to Europe and to the big time, which is where the big bucks are right now. And I can't believe there are many clubs that have that complete program, because I think wherever my daughter played, when it was over, it was over. And they went and got
there's
another
not a
girl.
lot of clubs. Most
like
of it
the only one is, like,
ends-
Strikers
Yeah,
that
it usually
has-
ends after their high school because
Yeah.
that's when they quit paying these clubs. So
Yeah,
they're
right.
done with
Exactly.
them after
I
that.
stopped paying them. They
Yeah,
didn't want to
so-
talk to her anymore.
Ours most we try to get a lot of our goal is to get our guys. We do development young, get them to we focus a lot on development when they're young, and we want them to fall in love with the game. If they
Yeah.
fall in love with the game, it becomes easy. Then we as they get older, we make it a little bit more competitive and try to prep them for high school.
Makes sense.
Get them into their high school programs. But we do a lot of off the field stuff, leadership, homework clubs, those kind of things.
Well, I think that's why I think there's two reasons parents like me send their kids to this stuff. One, because they have this fantasy that they're going to somehow get a scholarship. And two, even more practically, though, you learn something.
Yeah.
Do you agree? Carly was yawning there, so I'm boring.
No, I was out late last night.
Oh, that's
why.
true.
That's why.
All right. So what do you think? What did you get out of? Why are you still in soccer? What do you say to your parents when they say, come on, go do something else?
Well, they've never told me to do anything else.
They
I've been
haven't, see?
playing
Good for
since
them.
I was like, what, 6? So like
Okay.
that's all I know is soccer.
Right.
I told myself I was never going to be a coach. Here I am coaching 3 teams,
Yeah.
still playing, now managing one.
So you could be, this is your life calling. This could be, if you came back in 20 years,
Looks
you're
like
still
it.
doing
It looks like it.
looks like it. Very excited to be. Yeah, looks like
No,
it.
I am excited.
All right. Well, that's good. Well, I'm excited to have you guys in here. I think it's a cool story, and I didn't know the depth and breadth of your program. Are you starting right now? Don't you have a game starting soon? We're doing this at the middle of April here, and
That's our season opener tomorrow.
Yeah,
Season
we have
opener.
our big season opener tomorrow at 7:30 at our stadium, J. Sarah Catholic High School. It's
and
gonna
is
be
this
gr-
one of the pro levels or the high school level, or who's playing tomorrow?
Yeah, it's gonna be our pro team tomorrow. So
What's the name of the team? Just Capo or?
Yeah, Capo FC. We're gonna be playing Arizona Munson.
Munson, yeah.
Munson.
Oh, you're gonna kill them. They suck in Arizona.
That's the plan.
That's easy. That's an easy opener here. All right. Well, so are you encouraging people to come out and watch? And is there a price to come out? Are there tickets I got to buy? And I suppose.
$15?
Yeah, our tickets are $15, and yeah, come out and watch. We've got a couple former UCI players on the roster.
All right.
This is a UCI campus.
Do we get any media passes? Can we come out and check it out here one of these games? or
If you wear a media pass, it would be pretty easy to sneak in.
something? All right. Because I may bring my grandson one of these days and check it out. And how long does the season last for?
I think it goes up till October, November with playoffs.
Wow. Okay, for a while. All right, so give us some websites, give us some places where they can sign up, buy tickets, support you, get the T-shirts, all that stuff. Where do we go? Does anybody know the website?
CapoFC.com.
Capo FC for football club. Capo FC.
Is there a link in our Instagram bio too, right?
Yeah, so our Instagram is Capistrano_FC, right? I'm blanking right
You're
now.
the social
You're
media
the
president.
team.
If you type in
You're all
Capistrano
looking at me.
FC, it will come up. And the
I-
link in our bio.
Yeah,
Okay.
we have all our links in there.
And do you ever stream any of these games, or can I watch them, or any other way to watch them other than in person, or highlights on YouTube or someplace?
Yeah, a lot of our games are on YouTube. Our USL, our NISA Pro games are going to be streamed now on NISA. What's it called?
They have a new platform called NISA Plus, so they'll be streamed on NISA Plus, but you can find them afterwards on our YouTube channel.
Okay, all right, that's what I'm hoping.
Quick plug.
All right, big plug there. All right, and one last crazy thing. You actually said you're looking for some ownership stakes. Can I own a team? I can't own a baseball team. I can't own a football team. Can I own a soccer team?
You could come. You could be our owner.
And I come and be the owner?
Our pro team doesn't have an owner. We're without an owner right now.
Okay. And what does that entail to be the owner, other than funding the uniforms or paying for stuff?
funding the program. No,
Funding me.
Yeah.
paying Kim's salary. It's owning a team is obviously expensive. It costs a lot of money. I don't think our program's anywhere near what a lot of other stuff's going out there. I don't know, but it probably costs a few $1 million a year. Who knows? Ours is probably a fraction of that.
And I mean, do you make money at this? I mean, do you get enough
The
players?
goal is to get, I think a lot of it comes down to ticket sales and
Right.
and brand awareness. And at our level, I wouldn't say it's probably a major investment to. I think it's more people that probably love the sport and want to own a pro team.
Right.
It's probably somewhere that breaks even. I don't think it's big money. You're not
Right.
going to make. It's not the kind of investment. I mean, I
I'm
wish
not
I could
gonna-
say that.
I'm not going to buy it and then sell it for
No,
$50 million next year. or
No,
something.
not at our level, but it could pay for itself, and it's more, I think, to have the owning a pro team and having
Owning
involvement.
any pro team, it's
Yeah,
kind of an ego thing. Yeah,
I
right.
guess. Yeah. So you want to? We'll talk after. We'll get you
All
set
right,
up.
so I can do this. This
OC
could be-
Sports Radio.
We'd have
on
to
our
change
jersey.
it to the OC Talk Radio team, though, or
do
something.
it.
This Capo stuff would have to go out the window here.
He's
Oh,
got
see,
the
brother,
patch.
I'm
He's
not
got
sure
the
that'll
patch and he can't.
But we throw your logo on the jersey. And every,
Oh,
be right
I
there.
see.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Well, the price just went down then. All right. All right. Well, I'm just throwing it out there because we got a lot of big business tycoons and types that listen to these shows here. We have some, huge shows we produce for some huge brands here in Orange County. Who knows? One of them might want to support this or sponsor it or back it, or who knows, might want to take on an ownership role and help develop soccer to that next level, because God knows it is huge at the youth level. And I think people are still trying to figure out how they translate that enthusiasm and that commitment to professional ranks here, and not just people from other countries who already came here loving soccer and want to see soccer. Take those kids that are playing soccer and turn them into passionate, lifelong soccer fans, right? Isn't that the goal?
Yes, sir.
Okay, let's do it. We're starting right here. All right, well, thank you so much. We were talking with the director, Pete Carey, and Carly Osorio, a player who's soon to be on a Wheaties box or whatever here.
Olympic player coming soon.
Olympic player coming soon.
Remember my name.
And Kimberly
Got a milk box
Ruiz,
missing.
who is the really keeps the club going. She really does everything.
Next year I'm gonna be the president.
She might be the owner one day.
Why
Yeah.
not the owner? Yeah.
You know, maybe one day.
Okay.
I'm looking.
Pete's got to raise her salary, and then she can afford to buy the team.
Yeah, she could just invest it right back in. I think that's all
No,
possible.
it's okay. I'm looking to marry rich.
So we have that opening here today. If we throw that out there. Other rich people, if they're listening, don't just invest in the soccer club.
Invest in Kim.
Invest in Kim. Yeah, right. she can, because then she could help run the team. That'd be natural. If some rich guy married Kim, then he gets the team with it, right?
Yeah, and we divorced. Well, I only wanna
We
take-
divorced.
if
That's
we
already.
divorce-
Oh my goodness!
If we divorce, I'm only looking to take one thing with me: the team.
Not the Lambos or anything else.
No,
Okay.
that doesn't matter to me.
All right, good. All right, well, we've learned a lot here this afternoon about soccer and about the people who work behind soccer. I had no idea. Thank you all for coming. Last word, website, one more time. Give it to us. Pete,
It's capofc.com.
can't be any easier than that. PapoFC.com. Thank you all for coming in and joining us here on this OC Spotlight.
Yeah, thanks for having
Yeah,
us.
thank you.
Thank you.
Well, there you have it. Some of the personalities and people behind pro soccer. We're taking it from youth sports all the way up to the top. It's happening right here in South Orange County on this week's OC Spotlight.